Hello, everybody.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well and cooking nicely in this heat.
Yes. and poor Sophie Haig, she's cooking for two.
I do understand, Sophie, bless you, because when I had my daughter, it was that heat wave of 1976. So you have my deepest sympathy, darling. You really do. Good evening, Stace. Oh, hello, Terry. Terry Louise. Hello, darling. Nice to see you on.
It's nice to see everybody. And it's nice that so many of you are sitting indoors and watching us rather than being outside and trying to cool off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, dear. Yes, and your Stace says, and thank you for giving my age away, Mum.
Oh, that's all right. We know that you're 60 next May, Duck, so you're all right.
Yeah.
Hello, Alison Barton, too. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see everybody.
It really is.
It seems like an age since we were last here.
I know.
It's only been a week and it seems like a year.
I know. It's ridiculous, but hey, there we go.
Ridiculous. I can see where this is going to go tonight.
It is. And my poor little beddies are just don't know where to put themselves. They're all over.
Dexter's the same. He can't get comfortable, bless him.
No. And it's actually Pippin that's struggling more than Horus, and I thought it would be the other way around.
Oh, bless.
Now, Jean's a bit tired and a bit under the weather today, so she's staying in Hornsey with Stuart, and so it's just the two of us tonight. My dad's doing all right. Pam, he's actually online tonight, so yep, we're really pleased that he seems to be okay.
I was just going to ask how he was, Duck. I see he's
not. Yeah, he's not too bad. He's not too bad.
Good. I'm glad he's better than he was over the weekend.
Yes, he is. He is. So tonight, I thought we would just leave it in the hands of Spirit. I want to do the beginning of the Divine Service. I want to do prayer. I want to do Pam's Poetry Corner over there. and I want to do the absent healing, and then we'll leave it to Spirit and see where they want us to go with it, if that's all right with your good selves. And thank you to everybody who came over to Thundersley and watched Jean and myself at Thundersley last night, because Jean popped over for her tea and stayed.
Yes, and I couldn't get on.
No, it's that daft system.
It is, yeah. Be Live. It's not good at all, as you said. I couldn't get on before when he did Thundersley. Neither could Jean at first.
No. It just, a lot of people struggle to get the connection with Be Live, and it's really odd. It's really odd. But yeah, we're good to go. We're good to go. But it is a nice church. It's a Christian Spiritualist church, and they are lovely. They're lovely people. And I love Frank at the end. He does his he draws 3 cards and talks about three different cards, and he uses an animal deck.
Oh, lovely.
So you have things like last night there was the manatee, there was a ragdoll cat, and I can't remember what the other one was, but it was lovely. And it's a tarot deck, but it's sweet.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, I spent yesterday morning at Derby Charnwood
Church. You did,
and,
yes.
Oh, it was a beautiful service. If anybody's that way, Sunday morning their services are so uplifting, and John plays the organ, and he's absolutely fabulous.
Oh,
he's great, and it's a proper organ. It's not one of these little, it's not. He actually plays the organ, and he just lifts everything. And yes, it was really nice, lovely, beautiful church.
Good. And the other one, it's a bit far out, but Scunthorpe Ashby was really nice as well. Again, it's a Christian Spiritualist, but it's really sweet. It's lovely. So lots of lovely churches. So if people are out and about on their holidays and Charnwood or Ashby, pop over. You'll have a warm and loving welcome, as you are here.
Absolutely.
You're from Derby, Anne-Marie.
All right. Well, I don't know if you know where Charnwood, Derby Charnwood is. It's between Charnwood Street and Melbourne Road. If you know, it's that area. The car park is on Melbourne Road. If you park outside the front of the church, it's double yellow lines. Unless you've got a blue badge, you get a ticket. So there we go. There we are.
Right. Well, let's open the service in prayer and set the intention for the evening.
Yep.
And then we'll get away and see where we're going. Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, thank you for the multiple blessings you've bestowed upon each and every one of us over the last day. Father, we thank you for cooling the air down tonight so that I can do this service from the caravan without the doors open, and we can't hear the club over the way drowning us all out. Father, I ask that the veil be lifted between the two realms to allow the guides for Irene and myself to step forward to support and to inspire us through this short service. And I promise that everything we do tonight will be done with love, truth, and honesty in our hearts. I also ask that the loved ones of those watching step forward to bring forth messages of truth, proof, love, and upliftment, to guide Irene and myself to deliver what is needed to the people that are watching us tonight. And at the end of this evening, we will hand back to you everything which is rightfully yours, with love, honour, and glory. Amen.
Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, that was lovely. Right.
Oh, before you go into tonight's poem.
Okay.
I was inspired last night to talk about fitting in and changing our behaviours to fit in with everybody else. And they also, Spirit made me pick up your poem. So at the end of my address, I read your poem, which went down an absolute storm.
Oh, lovely.
With everybody down in Kent.
Oh, that's lovely. Which one, Tony?
Don't Be Pretending.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Oh, Lisa, of course. I'll put you in our healing list now.
Oh, yes,
Lisa
absolutely.
Scott's had a tooth pulled. Ooh.
Oh, dear. Rather you than me, darling. You have my sympathy. You are in my healing book, sweetheart.
And mine.
There we go. Right. Well, that's lovely to know. I'm glad my poem is appreciated. This one, it's something just slightly different. It's I found it from a website by accident, actually, called The Witchcraft Chronicles.
Oh,
yeah, I know, but I read it and I thought, oh, that's nice. I'll write it out. And it's called When I'm Gone. When I come to the end of my journey and I travelled my last weary mile, just forget if you can that I ever frowned, and remember only the smile. Forget unkind words I have spoken, remember some good I have done. Forget that I ever had a heartache, and remember I've had loads of fun. Forget that I have stumbled and blundered, and sometimes fell by the way. Remember I have fought some hard battles and won ere the close of the day. Then forget to grieve for my going, I would not have you sad for a day. But in summer, just gather flowers and remember the place where I lay. And come in the evening when the sun paints the sky in the west, stand for a few moments beside me and remember only my best.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will do the normal thing. I will put it on for you. But I've had a few problems with my my webpage, so I will put it on to Tony's and also on to Jean's, All Spirits Together.
Yeah, no problem.
So I'll
no
put
problem.
Them.
Yeah.
So
okay, so now we'll come to send out absent healing. So if you know anybody who needs a thought or a prayer or some healing for whatever reason, it can be a dog, a cat, a budgie, Irene,
yeah,
anything.
Jean,
Yeah,
our
Jean.
Not forgetting our Jean, bless her.
Yeah. So just pop their name in the comments. I've got a few people on my healing list, and I know Irene's got some on hers.
Yeah.
So we will send out all the love that we can out into the universe. And all you need to do is just focus and...
Helen Robinson and probably...
Yes. Robinson. And we will send out healing, and we will get all the positive energy from our little group running around the universe and doing its thing.
Absolutely. There you are, Helen.
Can we blend our energies together, please? And like I say, just send out all the positive thoughts you can. Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, here we bring unto thee all those in our and all healing books, that it may please thee to heal them. Be they suffering in mind, body, or in spirit, we ask for all those we know, we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them, we ask for them now, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Oh,
There we
hello, Matthew. Good evening, sweetheart.
Bless you. Stace, I did see the people you've mentioned, and I've put them down on my healing book, love. Hi, Matthew. I hope you're well. How's the weather over there? Okay. Whew. I'm starting to glow.
Oh.
Whew. Okay. Right. Yes, your Stace gave us quite a list.
Yes. Well, I know about Freya, and bless them, what they're doing at
Oh,
SBTV.
yeah.
They're raising money. She's 14 years old, bless her, and she has leukemia.
Yeah.
And so,
I've seen
I know
what they
this
do.
is you, Tony, but if anybody could go across to SPTV and donate, because they're trying to raise money to get her the treatment that she needs. So, and I'm sure that they would all be very, very grateful. Sorry, Tony, I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, I do. So take it all back.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I've seen what they're doing over on SPTV, and it's brilliant. It really is. And of course, we'll hold it. It's absolutely really hot over here at the moment, Matthew.
It is.
It's crazy hot, and it's supposed to stay like this till Thursday. So,
we have got an amber warning, if nobody's heard the news, on heat at the moment in England, Matthew. The amber warning is out and it's not just going to be daytime, it's going to be nighttime as well. So please all stay safe, stay hydrated, and don't go out if you don't have to, especially the animals.
Yeah, please don't take your dogs for a walk. Irene, Michael and I on Saturday, I think it was, we walked over to the beach. We left the dogs here, obviously, and we walked over to the beach here, and there were people throwing balls for the dogs on the beach. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, if you're too hot to run around, why would you think your dog can do it in a fur coat? I mean, there was that poor man on Facebook, I don't know if you saw it, that took two of his bull breeds, I don't know what they were. He took two out for a short walk and only brought one home.
Oh,
the other
my
one
goodness.
collapsed, rushed it to the vets, and it had to be put to sleep because it just couldn't.
Heat stroke.
Because bull breeds have really short snouts.
Yes, they do. And
apparently a dog's body temperature only has to rise by 1.5 to 2 degrees for heat stroke to set in. I didn't know that.
Well, yesterday morning I was walking Dexter at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
and it was just starting to get hot then. But I'm with you. Why would somebody put on one of my things? Put a fur coat on and put thick boots on your feet and walk around in this heat and see how you like it.
Yeah, it's awful. It really is awful.
It is.
So yeah, it's bless. I do feel sorry for them.
I'm sure our wonderful congregation are looking after their animals as well as themselves. So
all the little fur babies need to be kept safe.
Absolutely.
They really do.
Good evening, Elizabeth. Elizabeth's son and Danielle. We'll put you in our healing books.
Yeah, Daniela. Claire, who watches, I don't know if she's on tonight, but Claire, who watches this, I know she won't mind me saying, she's got twin boys who are 15, and they've both just had COVID, and it's really knocked them on their behinds, shall we say. And David has never had nosebleeds in his life, and he's had 2 already. It's just affected him. It's my cat, our cat, Anne-Marie, when we had our cat, bless her, she used to go and sleep under the rhubarb because it had nice big leaves. Yeah.
Shane Damien Taylor, someone I know took her dog out and had to take her dog to the vets. She had blisters on her paws, and vets told her if it's too hot for you, then don't take your dog out.
No,
Good advice. Good
exactly.
advice.
Exactly.
Thumbs up to that man or lady.
Yeah, I'll walk these again after the service tonight because it'll be a bit cooler, and I'll leave the doors open for them so they can go into the bedroom because it's cooler at that end of the caravan.
Yeah, well, Ed's just gone out with Dexter, but he purposely hasn't taken his ball with him for that reason. He's just walking him gently around the field and through the woods.
Yeah. Bless.
So.
Oh dear. Anyway.
Now then, are we doing a Q&A? Are we doing a chat? Or because I haven't got anything from Spiriters yet.
I haven't actually, funnily enough.
So?
I've just got... Yeah, Dad, I know my cat would sleep anywhere. The old lady cat would sleep anywhere. Charlie Puss would just wait to try and scare you to death because he would.
Oh, Matthew,
from the Arctic.
Yeah, I'd love to do that with Dexter, but even if you Dexter loves the water, but if you wet them, they just get, they just get hot so quickly again, don't they?
They do. Yeah, in this weather, I very rarely wear socks. I just wear sandals, so I kick my feet out of my sandals and put my foot on the ground. Yeah,
and it's no, I say, well, I don't like the heat at the best of times, so I want to go and hibernate in the freezer, Tony, but nobody will let me.
You can if you want, darling. You can. We've got a nice cool cellar at our house. Have a pop through to ours and go and sit in our cellar.
Okay. Well, we're supposed to be taking Dexter out for the day tomorrow, but I don't think we'll be going anywhere in this heat.
No. It's a real shame because it's only 10 minutes walk over to the beach, but I just can't.
No.
I can't because it's just too hot for them.
Oh, that's nice to know, Alison. Alison has a cool jacket for her dog.
Yeah.
And you can also get cool mats.
Just over the field from us, there's an English bulldog.
Yeah.
He's a really big lad, and he's got one. It looks like a normal coat that you would put on a dog, but you put it in the fridge and it's got gel in it, and you just wrap it around and Velcro it under their tummy.
Oh.
Ours wouldn't do it though. Ours just wouldn't. I just no. And they wouldn't lie on a mat. They'd be like,
Stacey, I'll get you one next time I go to Jolly's. I'll get you a gel mat for Chip. You only want a small one because Stacey's got a pug, and she has to wet his ears and keep his ears cool because you said he can't breathe properly. So
no, they can't because they've got such. I don't know why they breed them with just such short snouts.
Have you seen what Shane's put on? Get a mini fridge for each foot, Irene. I'd love to, sweetheart, but the problem is, even in this weather, I suffer with really cold feet. Believe it or believe it not. I love the concept.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
Has anybody got any questions for us?
Yeah, anything you want.
I'm sure that Matthew will answer them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll recolour my nails while Irene and Matthew run the service.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
It's like a scarf that wets and it's a menopausal cloth. That's funny. I don't know what that is.
No, I don't either.
No.
Oh well. There
I had a question the other day. Somebody messaged me something through. What was it they were asking about? That was it. They'd been to an open circle.
Yeah.
And had felt a little uncomfortable because they felt that they were made to give messages and made to get up and things. And they said, is that what happens in all open circles? And what I said was, well, I'm sat poolside, men in Speedos. Oh, shit. Shane, where are you, darling? Because I think Matthew and myself might feel the need to come and sit where you are. if
But
there's
you
men in speedos playing water polo. Sorry, people, but priorities.
But then Michael would miss out, Tony.
Yeah, that's true. I'll take pictures.
All right, Stacey's got a question. What is the funniest message you've ever given to both of us?
Go on.
Oh gosh. Right. Matthew's on his way. Down boy. Hucknall in Nottingham.
It's a bit far from here, Shane. Sorry. Take pictures, darling. Take pictures. No, don't. You could get arrested.
Good grief. The funniest one, I've had so many. I think one of the funniest ones that I had a lady. Oh, I'm going back. Oh, when I was a fledgling with Michael. That's Michael I know, not Tony's Michael. And I didn't know how to accept this lady because she was a rather large lady, bless her. She had a personality to match. And I could see her so clearly. And it wasn't really a funny message. It was just, she made me laugh because every time she laughed, every bit of her went. It was one of those things where the boobs went up and down, the belly went up and down. And you get the picture.
Yeah,
but the actual message was so funny as well. I had tears. I had to sort of say, look, I'm sorry, I've got to let you go, because she was saying so many funny things, and as fast as I got rid of one, I couldn't speak for laughing. But I can't remember what the message was now, but I just remember her because of the picture that she showed me. Go on, your turn.
There's been a couple actually. There's been I had one where I started describing this lady that was presenting herself to me, and I thought, this is really strange because, you know, she's got really big bouffant blonde hair and lots of makeup, and then she lifted her leg up and showed me these fishnets with hair sticking through, and it suddenly dawned on me it wasn't a lady, it was a man in drag.
Oh, God.
And once he stepped closer, it was a very butch man in drag.
Right.
And went and stood next to the person, the recipient, and I said, right, I'm sorry, it's not a lady I've got. And the recipient, the man, started laughing and said, no, I know who you've got. It's Bob or whatever. But he spent 99% of his life in full
drag.
Regalia, just because that was his party piece. If ever there was a night out, he'd get his get up on and out he'd go. But yeah, so it was really, really funny and just such a lovely guy to work with. But I've got to say, it's everybody we meet, usually, I'll clarify that, usually everybody that comes through from the world of spirit is lovely. I've only twice had people come through who just weren't nice at all. But yeah, lovely. And because of how I work, and I know Jean works and Irene, we tend to get a good laugh with everybody who comes through, because that's the energy we work on. We raise our vibration so high to connect that we work on high energy, and we tend to know within the first couple of minutes if we're going to have a good evening or not, because of the energy in the room, and if it's light and funny, it's
yesterday
easier.
When I was at Charnwood, I got a message for John, who plays the organ, and it was for somebody else. I thought it was for somebody else in the audience, and he couldn't take it. So I said, can anybody else take this? And John said, I can. And do you know what I got, Tony?
Go on.
Nora Batty's Wrinkled Stockings.
And
apparently he dressed up as Nora Batty for a party in drag, and he had the wrinkled stockings and everything, and he was telling me about it afterwards, and it was so funny the way it came about. He said, and I've got the pictures to prove it.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Helen, a lot of youngsters can see spirit.
Yes.
A lot of youngsters can see spirit, and it's only as we get older that we lose it for a little while. Trace, have you ever had a message come through that's so way out of your...
You doubt yourself, or are reluctant? Yes, yeah. I have. I think all mediums have. We don't, thankfully, and thank you to the spirit world. We don't have them very often, Helen. Trace, sorry, we don't have them very often. I think I've only had about 3 or 4 all the times I've been a working medium, but they can actually drain your energy, and they can also make you feel negative. That is why we put protection around ourselves, because without the protection, they could come really close to us and they could destroy our links with the spirit world. So we have to be very, very careful. And it's not, for me, it's not a case of being way out, because when I do my messages in church, I get weird things anyway. I think what's all 3 of us, and I'm sure that Jean would agree with this as well, are reluctant to pass on a message when we know it's somebody that is, as Jean would say, gone over to spirit by alternative means. Yeah, that is the one that we're all most reluctant to pass on. So that's why we will say sometimes, well, this is too personal. We need to give you a one-to-one on your own and pass it on that way, because sometimes when you get something like that, it gets so personal and it goes into so much detail, and it's not fair to give that out to other people, is it, Tony? No. Do you agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
Sometimes they deliver it with me in such a way that I can, like I did yesterday at Thundersley. There was a young gentleman came through there who had his own thoughts and deeds had led to him transitioning to spirit, and he did it in a really sensitive way, and it was okay, and there wasn't a lot of personal stuff that came through. It was just like he wanted the message to get across to his mum that he was okay and he's fine now, and that nobody could have done anything to stop him. That was going to happen no matter what. But yeah, those messages, they're uncomfortable. Obviously, they're uncomfortable, but I do pass them on. I don't like the messages where, like Irene said at the beginning, if they're coming through in a negative way and it's all about negative stuff, because there's enough misery and stuff in the world, and we, what we want to hear is that about the memories of our loved ones and evidence of their existence. But some of them, like I once said to my dad, well, if you're a misery guts on this side of life, you're going to be a misery guts on that side of life. It's just, it's your personality, it's who you are. So it's when you connect with us, you've got to find a way of finding the positive and changing their mood in the spirit world round and get them to focus on the positives. Like I'll say to them, where was your favorite holiday? And they'll talk about that, and I'll say to the person, okay, do you remember when you and your grandma went to Bognor Regis and you did this and you did that, and you spin it around? Matthew, yes.
Oh yes, absolutely. We've all had some of those. We've
Oh,
all had some of
yeah.
those, you know.
It's
I
the
think the worst one, I think I've told Tony and Jean this before, but I haven't shared this with you. I went to do a service near where I live. I won't mention the place, but it's
no,
near
please
where I
don't.
live. No, you know where I'm going with this, don't you?
I do, yeah.
And there was three, as I finished doing my demonstration, there was three ladies sat at the table, a couple of tables from me. The elderly lady was shaking quite a lot. And I just went across to her and I said, are you all right, sweetheart? I said, you seem a bit, as though a bit nervous. And she said, well, she said, the last time I came, I went home and I was frightened to death. She said, because of what the medium said. And I said, what was that, sweetheart? I said, if you don't mind me asking. She was looking after her mum, who was bedridden. And this person who called herself a medium told her that her mother is going to die in 3 days' time. And a younger lady was sat with her, and I just put her right. I said, nobody can predict that. I said, no medium in their right mind would say anything like that. And then the lady sat next to us, a younger lady, she said, well, wait till you hear what she told me. And she told this younger lady that her aura was broken and that she was going to go inside her body and overtake her body, mend the aura, and then come out again. And I said, what a load of rubbish. Absolute load of rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how that person could have said that they was a medium, frightening people like that, because that's not what we're about.
No, we're not. We're not. A very wise person once told me that nobody should leave any spiritual encounter feeling worse than they did when they came in.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with that.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
A medium once told Jean not to carry on with her treatment for breast cancer.
Yeah.
To take this herb and she'd be cured. Matthews.
I think all three is appropriate, Matthew. Honestly, I do. I think
I do.
All three are appropriate. I just do not understand. I mean, you all know Stacey's my daughter, and I love her dearly. But she also knows that if she did or said anything like that, I would knock her off of her feet, to put it bluntly. Yeah. Because if she's going to do it, she's going to do it properly.
Anyone tries to enter Stacey's body to fix her aura, they'll get.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to enter my body to fix my aura, they're going to buy me a meal first.
Yeah. But it's just, as Matthew, you said, some of the excuses, some of the so-called reasons that you hear when you're doing the circuit, as we call it, they are just, some of them, too ridiculous to absolutely think about. And I just go over my head, not interested.
I don't get involved in the politics of it all now.
No, I don't.
I'm happy with us doing our thing with our little congregation. Well, our quite a big congregation, actually.
Yes.
And yes, exactly, Stace. Exactly. They'll wine and dine me first.
I agree, Sophie. Anyway, your babies had probably kicked them out anyway.
Yes. But yeah, we don't get involved in all of that now. We deal with our stuff, and we associate ourselves with mediums who do things the right way. I think mediumship is a type of. I've said that.
Yeah,
I've said that, Matthew, that everything we do as spiritualists, as Christians, and as mediums should be about healing. It's not just when we send out absent healing. By giving somebody a message that proves that their loved one is with us and is alive and has a consciousness and a personality and an individuality, even though we return to the divine to God and to God's energy, we still retain our personality, our individuality, and everything we were while we were here as physical. And if you can prove that to somebody beyond a doubt, then you've healed them in some way. And that's the way Jean taught me to deliver a message. Is the first job is to prove your contact with spirit.
Yep.
Deliver your message in a positive way. Leave with a gift and get out of there.
Well,
your Stace raises an interesting point.
Yes. Do you think that me just a video?
Can I start this one?
Yes, of course you can.
Because Stace, to be perfectly honest with you, I think if you've got a true connection with spirit and you're doing your job as a medium with love and honesty and truth in your heart, spirit will give you the counseling skills you need, because they know the person you're talking to, and they know how to they know how to deliver that message to that person in a way that will heal them. And but yes, I do think as teachers, as mentors, as people developing the next generation of mediums, we have a duty to teach them public speaking skills for starters, because we've got to stand up in front of sometimes 50, 60, 80 people in a church and talk, and a basic level of how to deliver a message and what is appropriate to deliver a message to say that somebody's daughter is going to get murdered within the next month, as a medium did in a church where a dear friend of ours was a president, is not what we do. Yes, an ethics and etiquette of the platform.
Well, Stace
definitely
knows.
Math.
Well, I agree with everything that Tony said, and Stace knows if you've got something to say, you say it, but it is not what you say, it's how you say it that counts more than anything. It's the tone of your voice, it's the message, and you focus on that one person. And when I work and I'm looking at just reading for that one person, everything and everybody else fades into the background, and I'm just concentrating on that one person. And a lovely example is today, Stace was doing her show on SPTV, and she had a medium on that I had forgotten that I helped, until Stacey messaged me with a lovely message from her. And she just wanted to say thank you, because I was in a dark place and that I'd got such a kind heart and my words helped heal her. And that made me up. It really did. It was a beautiful thing to say. So I messaged her back and I said thank you. And she's now on my friends list, and she's a very well-known medium. And we met at a veterans, doing a veterans night. That's how we met. And like I say, she was in a dark place, and I helped her with her confidence, and she was so grateful. And the worst thing is, I haven't seen her since, until Stace gave me this message today. So even words can heal. You don't necessarily have to hands-on healing.
No.
Even words, if they're put in the right way, in the right context. Yeah. And if you speak to people, instead of speak to them, not at them, and don't shout and everything, then you're halfway there, 3/4 of the way there.
Yes, Matthew, I agree with that as well. After the message is done, but I have to add something from my own experience. Clearly let them know. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Anne Warren, do you think if the person didn't believe that when they pass? No.
He always said to me, if it helps you to heal, that's the main thing. Hang on. Do you think if the person didn't believe that when they pass, they will not come through? He always said to me, if it helps you to heal, that's the main thing. Right. Okay. Sorry, I had to read it twice to understand it.
Yeah. I've given messages from spirit people who didn't believe, because that's something they always say to me. I didn't believe in all of this nonsense. I didn't believe, but yeah, I'm here and I'm talking to you. So they will come through, Anne. If they can, they will come through. I think if you're waiting for somebody, then it could be that the right medium hasn't come into your path yet, or it could be that the time's not quite right, because sometimes we have to have come to a certain level of acceptance of the loss before they can come through. There can be many different reasons why a spirit doesn't come back. Irene.
I always I agree, Tony. And I always think that that person, whether they believe or not, if they have a message for you, they will come through and they will deliver that message. And I got one yesterday. No, they didn't believe in this until they saw the way that I worked. Elderly gentleman, first time he'd been through, a bit nervous, but we got through it and I helped him along the way. And he went, "Oh, I didn't realize you could do this. Now I'll come more often." But it's also, as Tony said, sometimes people won't come through because it's got to be, for one reason or another, it's got to be a certain medium. And a spirit person won't come through if they don't like the way the medium works. They don't like the look of them for whatever reason. But as long as you get the message, as long as you get a message, that's all that matters. And it can make a world of difference. And it can put a nice smile on your face and give you back confidence and stuff like that, I think.
It can, Anne. And the other thing I will say is that you might be waiting for a really long message, and it doesn't need to be. It can be a word, a gesture, a smell. It can be the smallest thing, and you won't realize, but it'll hit you. And they'll come through when the time's right for them to come through. That's something we always say. We can't drag them.
No.
They have to want to come to us, and I'm sure Matthew would agree with that.
Yeah.
I couldn't sit there and say, right, I'm going to do a reading for Anne Warren. Let's go and get Anne Warren's loved one. It doesn't work like for us.
No, it doesn't.
There are other mediums who will tell you one thing or another, but that's the way it works for us. We can't.
Yeah. Do you know what I like best? One of the things that I like most about this is that when we pass on hugs and kisses to the recipient of the message, we get one too, and I like that.
I know. Especially now we're allowed to hug again.
Yes, absolutely. Shane, being a medium, I guess, offers a person or people to heal. If that's it, thank you.
To make peace, relieve a burden you may feel, and
yes,
yes. That's. Can I just pick up on the chance to forgive? That's a tricky one, Shane, because I've had both sides of that argument. I've had where the person, earth side, the recipient of a message, wants to forgive. And I've also had it where the person wants to be forgiven, and I've had it where the spirit person comes forward to ask for forgiveness and the person outside of life isn't ready to forgive. And that can be awful as a medium, because you've got a spirit person holding out an olive branch and saying, look, from where I am now, I can see I treat you appallingly and it's awful and I feel dreadful. And you describe the person that you're working with, and the recipient says, I'm not speaking to them. And there's nothing you can do.
No.
I've seen a medium once try to force the issue. Look, your person has come through and has spent their energy and their time and they want to come, and I thought, leave it. If the
Yeah.
person's not ready to forgive, yeah, you're right, Matthew. You can only ask for them to step forward, and if they don't, they don't. There's nothing and you get signs all the time. Sorry, I just spotted that.
Yeah.
You get signs all the time. That's wonderful. That's truly wonderful.
You're
Exactly,
right,
Shane.
Shane. They can. I mean, I had a lady the other day, last week when I was doing the service, I had a lady, and straight away she said, "I know who you've got," and I said, "It's Mum's spirit side." She said, "Yeah." I said, and I went through the message, and I said, "She's stepping forward because she wants to say sorry, and she wants to work with you." And I got, no, absolutely not. No. I went, okay. I said, but she just wants you to know that she realizes now what she did wasn't right, and she wants your forgiveness. No, absolutely not. So, and
like Shane said, all you can say is, well, it's there.
Yeah,
And when you're
absolutely.
ready,
Yeah,
she'll
and
still be
that's
there.
exactly what I did.
That's all you
She's
can
there for you
do,
when you're
Irene.
ready. Yeah.
And it, like I say, it puts you in an awkward position, because it's almost like that. Do you remember, like, when there'd been a bit of a tiff in the house, and your mum would say, "Go and tell your dad his tea's ready," and you go tottering through.
Yeah.
Dad, Mum says your tea's ready. Tell her I'm not hungry yet. And you're like, oh my word, you feel like pig in the middle, don't you? Oh, can I just highlight Sophie's? Yeah, your mum's got such a huge heart, Sophie. She really has. And yeah, I saw your previous comment. Yeah, I know she's obsessed with my nails. She
Yeah.
comments a lot. She really
Yeah.
does. If a person is told they have a guardian angel, how comes
The guardian angel doesn't ever seem to come through to pass on the message? When you have a guardian angel, sweetheart, your guardian angel is basically the one angel that stays with you from birth to death. In and out of your life, you'll have lots of guides, lots of angels that will work with you on different levels. And they will come and go for what you need. If you want to learn something new, you might get one of the archangels, or if you want to just try a different path, or if they think you need to go up a level. But your actual guardian angel is one angel that stays with you from birth to death, and they are all around you, but they don't need to pass on the message, sweetheart, because you know that they're there. And sometimes you'll find yourself doing something that you've never done before, and might be it's needed at that time. That'll be your guardian angel helping you to do. And then suddenly there's another situation where you might be upset, and something, will happen, and you'll for no other reason you'll either start laughing or crying, and that's the guardian angel stepping in again. The guardian angel is there to protect you, not to give messages to family members, sweetheart. I don't know if Tony wants to add anything to that.
No, I completely agree. Your guardian angel can be a family member. It can be anybody.
It can.
Helen, hang on. I just want to. I had this the other week, Matthew. People said my voice changes.
Yeah, it does.
And I don't know who it is, but there's obviously somebody stepping forward, and they'll identify themselves to me at some point. But I've been told whoever's overshadowing me as I work with spirit, they change my voice, and I don't know who it is. If you know, Matthew, can you tell me? And can I just pick up on Helen's point?
Yeah.
I've been to many churches, and the number of times people are told you've got a red Indian stood behind you, or you've got a Chinese man stood. There's more red Indian guides around than there were ever red Indians. I don't know where they all come from, but that a lot of people are told they've got Indian guides. Or I think the connection is because the Native American people were so spiritual, in touch with Earth and the connectedness of us and the planet and the animals and everything, that they are. Yeah, I know. That's why I corrected myself to Native American.
Yeah, Native American. Or
Sorry.
Native Canadian as well, because they had
Yeah,
indigenous people in Canada
they
and
did.
in
Yeah,
New Zealand
yeah,
and Australia. So,
yeah.
Lisa,
But
you're very welcome, sweetheart. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. No, you're very welcome, Lisa. But yeah, Matthew. But it's a fact, though, isn't it? It's like they're almost handed out like Smarties. Oh, you've got a Native American or
Yeah.
Indigenous guide. I don't know.
There's no need to be sorry, Helen. It's a question, and it's one that quite rightly should be asked.
Yeah.
We can also have animal guides as well as our guardian angels. I know that I have one of my German shepherds walk with me. He's up on the wall behind me above the door, and he was my protector, and I know that he walks with me. I also know that my dad walks with me and my mum, but it's just it's sometimes you can get lost. Sometimes you'll get a Chinese man, and I have a wonderful guide. That is and he's from Siam, which is now Thailand. But and I said to him, oh, when he came to me, I said, oh, you're from Thailand, and he said, no, I am Siamese. And he was very, very specific. I am Siamese, and he was a doctor when he was on Earth plane, and he's about 1600s, I think. And I've got a wonderful picture of him, a wonderful picture. And he's Mr. Tom.
Mr. Tom.
Mr. Tom.
Oh,
because
very nice.
Apparently they don't have surnames; they only have first names, or they did then.
Oh. Very good.
Yep. So, bye-bye, Daddy Alan.
Yes, he's got to go.
Have a good night, sweetheart.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, Matthew, isn't it? We all err. To err is human, to forgive divine.
Absolutely.
As the saying goes. But yeah, I don't know what the fascination is, or why everybody seems to say you have this guide or that guide. Because, like I said, if it was true, then there are more spirit indigenous people than there ever were on the Earth plane. I don't know. I just think your guides are your guides, and at the end of the day, if they are earthly beings who've transitioned home to the divine and have returned to spirit, they aren't from this place or that place or the other place, because they are no longer tied to that existence. They are energy, which is what we always say. There's no gender or colour or creed in spirit, but I suppose it's how they identify and how they present themselves to you, which is important. And it's the purpose that they are there for. I mean, my guides change when they feel I've started to become complacent in my mediumship, and they'll say, no, it's time to stretch you. So it's it's time to stretch you. So we switch and
same.
It's actually frowned upon in a lot of places, Matthew, and it is what it is. And like you said, we all are. So there we go.
I think a lot of it is to do with the fact of the way the indigenous people of our lands lived. I mean, it was what they believed in. I mean, you will often see a Native American prayer that says, only when the last fish is out of the water, when the last animal is killed, will you realize that you cannot live on grass.
Yes.
And that sort of thing. And it's also the way that they had the way they conducted themselves. They believed in only killing animals for what they needed. They didn't kill them willy-nilly for any reason. If they wanted a buffalo, they'd just take one, and that would last the whole tribe maybe a week or maybe 2 or something like that, because every part was used for various things. And of course, the shaman, the medicine man, he had the most of. The most is the wrong thing to say. He used the oils and stuff for the actual making of his herbs and that, and getting the dreams through, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's it can be a very divisive subject, but you have to explain it properly, and their wisdom is amazing, Matthew. I fully agree with you.
I do. And I just want to pick up on Stacey's point, because I can resonate with that. It's the intent behind what you've got to say.
Yes.
A lot of people will talk to me about things to do with my gender, my sexuality and things. And if they ask a question and it's out of a want to understand, that's fine. But it's like my ex-wife, our son's mum, has cerebral palsy. And if children came up and said, "Why do you walk funny?" their mums and dads used to get very agitated and, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It's like, no, he needs to understand. He's seen somebody who isn't like him and wants to understand why not. And that's absolutely fine. Where an adult saying a similar thing can be quite upsetting and offensive. And I do think it's got to be taken in context. And like Sophie's just said, if there's no malice behind it, then
it's like a big grey area.
It's a big grey area, and you just have to, like Matthew said, say, well, actually, the phrase now is. We had this conversation actually the other day. I'm not going to say exactly what our grandma said, but my friend's grandma was talking about transgendered people, and she was using a phrase that isn't used anymore, and my friend tried to correct her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm however old I am," and too old. And I was like, "No, but people would get upset if you said that." Then she went on to say, "Well, I don't care what people do as long as they don't come into my house and put their parts on my dining table or do certain things in my bed, then I don't care." And it's like, oh my God, yeah, okay.
It's just one of those things, though, isn't it? I mean, I agree with what Matthew and Stacey is saying. It can be taken out of context, and it's all politically correct these days. But sometimes you see something, and a words that, especially for us people that are not as young as what we used to be, there was the old ways of doing things. Like I asked Tony a question a couple of weeks about the LGBT thing, and and I said, we don't use that word anymore. He says, no, but some people use it, and I'm thinking, well, no, that's wrong. That is wrong on every level. I mean, it's like, excuse me for this, but when I was younger, there was things called gay bashing, and stuff like that. And these days, and I do know it still goes on, and I do know it still happens, but it's not now acceptable. It wasn't then, but we couldn't do anything about it then. Now we can.
yeah, there's laws in place to stop it. But
Yes.
yeah, some of it's about reclaiming things for your heritage as well, and it's I yeah, I mean, I do know people who call themselves queer rather than lesbian, gay, transgendered, and it was that your Dex?
No, it's dogs next door.
Oh, bless! I thought, oh, what's wrong with him?
No,
Um,
Dex is in here
it's
somewhere.
it it, but it's how they identify themselves, and
Yeah,
that is what the Q is for. And I know because I was called that at school such a lot.
yeah. And
Every
it's
day,
not right. I
every
mean,
lesson, and it
yeah,
was like, oh God,
it's like a form of bullying, isn't it? It's like
it,
a form of bullying, and
well,
it's
it is
just
bullying, and
yeah,
but the teachers would do nothing about it.
no,
They'd say it in class, and the teacher would be sat there, and yeah, oh, I've got that one as well. Yeah, yeah, and we have those over here, Matthew, and the round meatballs in gravy, and there's a
yes,
there's a there's a brand called Mr. Brains, and it actually looks quite funny on the label because it says Mr.
yeah,
Brains, and
yeah,
you think, has he?
yes.
Oh dear. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, Pam, that's
Pam.
so awful.
Well,
Oh,
and my neighbour thinks it's funny to say, "Oh, the gay boys are back," and I just say, "Yeah, we are.
yeah,
Why are you telling us we're back? Because we know we're gay. So what's your
yeah.
problem?" But
I mean, as you said, Tony, there's laws now.
yeah.
There's laws now to stop it,
Well,
but it still
he's
goes
on
on.
his he's on his last chance. If he says it again when I get home, he's getting reported.
Yeah,
Because
it's.
if he's saying it to me, he'll be well to me, Michael and myself. He'll be saying it to other people, and it's not on. It's not on, and
I
that
don't
is
know how.
horrible, Pam. And I will put him in my book for
Yes,
some
same
prayers.
here. I will, Pam, as well, because that's awful. I mean, they don't ask to be born, you know, and it's just not right. It's these days. There should be none of this.
No,
I mean,
we are human beings muddling along on this planet. And
yeah,
if we don't learn to live together and do things properly, how are we going to heal the planet? Because it's going to take all of us working together to
yeah,
reverse what we've done to it.
yeah,
And if we
absolutely.
can't, we're doomed. And the worst thing is, it's not going to be in my generation or Ben's generation. It's going to be the generations after that are suffering, and it's the legacy we are leaving for our grandchildren, great grandchildren, great great grandchildren, and it's
Yeah,
awful. And not just the state of the planet, but the state of humanity.
yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
there was a lot of this when I was at school, and I thought things had got better. I mean, when like you know, I mean, gay people such as yourself and Michael, they weren't allowed then to be themselves
no,
and be who they wanted to be. And I think I forget Danny LaRue did a lot for bringing the drag thing out with his
yeah,
shows and
yeah,
that. And then there was
and
Kenny Everett with his
Larry
exaggeration,
Grayson.
and Larry Grayson, and they all sort of helped in a lot of
Sorry,
ways.
I've just
Yeah.
remembered the name of Larry Grayson's best friend,
Oh yes, Everard.
Everard.
Everard, shut that door, Everard. Everard, shut that door.
But do you know? Do you know the worst thing is? It's only as I got into my adulthood that I realised
Yeah,
what he was saying.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, it used to make me laugh. He did,
and Slack
honestly.
Alice,
Oh, Slack Alice. Oh yes, Slack Alice.
Slack Alice.
But it's just it's just they were so funny, but there was and another one was Benny Hill, but there was a
Oh,
serious message behind it all because
yeah. Benny Hill was. It, a lot of people say Benny Hill was sexist. Actually, what Benny Hill was doing was shining a light on the attitudes.
Yes, he was.
People of the day. And he was shining a light saying, you can't treat women like this.
No.
But anyway, we could be here all night.
Look at Stacey. Love thy neighbour in sickness and in health. You wouldn't get away with it now, would you?
No.
And Alf Garnett. Oh, he was so racist to women, wasn't he?
Racist, sexist, homophobic, you name it. Yeah. Alf Garnett, was it?
Yeah. But
your son was beaten up for having an American accent in an English school. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Trace, that's awful. I'm so sorry. I can't wrap my head around the intolerances we have towards each other.
No, I can't.
Let's face it. Mr. Stapley's just got to open his mouth and 50 people on my screen faint.
Oh, I know. Be still my beating heart.
And whatever else. Anyway. I was talking from my own perspective. Look, I've got myself in a bother again. Anyway, I think we've about exhausted today's chat as we've turned into.
As long as you've enjoyed it, we give you what you want.
Exactly. I want to thank you all for spending your time with us. I'm going to have to close down anyway because actually
it's in your eyes.
Yeah, I'm going to be blinded and it's coming through the door, so I can't do anything about it because we've got a curtain over there. You know what they say though? Sun shines on the righteous and burns the wicked.
Well, so they say, but
and I must have been a naughty reverend because it's burning me.
Don't tell Michael; he'll want to join in. He'll want to be naughty with you, right?
We're funny,
Thank you so much,
Matthew.
Everybody.
We weren't being funny; we were being serious tonight.
No, I think it was nothing of what I said about "Be Still My Beating Heart." That's not funny, Matthew. I mean, it be still my beating heart. Bless you.
There's a lot of love for you over here, Matthew.
There is. I hope one day you and Etienne are going to come over and see us all and spend some time with us all, because it would be wonderful to have you. It really would, in more ways than one. Right, I'm going to say my closing prayer now.
Please do.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to us waffle on again. I hope you've enjoyed it. Can I ask you to bow your heads, please, friends? Dear Lord, Divine Father, thank you once again for a wonderful service on the internet. Could I please thank our guides for bringing such joy to us this evening and giving us lots of laughter and managing to answer the questions that our wonderful people have asked. Could I ask for healing to go out in the world, Lord, wherever it's needed? And also for all those on beds of sickness, all those making their transition or back home to spirit, could we ask that they are met with love and kindness from their families and friends to be taken over the bridge? Healing for our animal kingdom, Lord, and for our wonderful Mother Earth. I may ask for a guardian angel to be with each and every person who's been up with us this evening until we meet again. Amen.
Amen. Lord, keep us safe this night, secure from all our fears. May angels guard us while we sleep, till morning light appears. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you safe till we meet again, everybody. Good night and God bless you all.
Good night. God bless.
Everything reminds me of you, but everything is nothing now. Feeling out by the ocean,